how it plays out. If the woman doesn't feel like she fits in the box, it's going to come out passive aggression, rudeness. You step on each other's toes. You're going to be getting into petty fights, and ultimately, at the end of the day, you're not going to be. It's going to put a big black eye on the relationship, and you're going to end up broken up anyways. So it's better to honor that love that you have for this person and set it down and wish the person well and move on, rather than letting it play out and basically it's in a nasty breakup. So one thing that I've seen in relationships is if a woman tells a man, I feel like you're trying to make me fit a mold that I don't fit into, that's a huge red flag in a relationship. And the reason is because effectively on a core level, a man is looking to have a relationship with somebody, and he has a vision for what the relationship should look like, and he has a vision for how the man and woman should kind of behave in that relationship. And the woman is just not on board with that lifestyle vision or that the man's ideation of like what the relationship is or should be. And so oftentimes I feel like in how relationships end up working is in the onset of a relationship, a man will kind of attract a woman, court a woman, and he'll basically he'll kind of sell her on like, hey, this is my package and this is what I'm about, and if you want to go on this adventure with me, he basically is kind of like selling like a lifestyle or selling like an adventure, and in terms of like how he's going to treat her, the types of things that he likes and what they're going to be doing, and she basically is like either buying into that or not. And you could certainly argue that, hey, it's more equal than that, and there's like it's a more mutual thing, certainly, right? But I think for me, when I had met my wife, I basically laid it out for her. I told her what I was about. I said, look, I'm really into big love. I'm into being married and being passionate about each other, when we're old and gray and we're still very much in love. And I kind of sold her on the vision, and that's what she was all about, and she wanted to join me on that journey, right? But when a woman tells you like, I feel like you're trying to get me to fit into this mold, that should tell you, and that should alert you. Don't just brush that aside and say, oh, well, she'll like it when she sees what it is. Because effectively in that moment, she's telling you that it's not working. And she's telling you that, she's not going to be changing down the line. I think that's a fundamental thing that men can often like screw up, is we think that we're compatible with a lot of people. And if you love the woman, you say, well, love conquers all, right? And we have this idea in our head that love is the only thing, love is all you need, right? The famous song. But for me, it's like we get confused. In order for a relationship to really truly thrive, you have to be in alignment with the person, right? So if you're with a woman and you want to ultimately get married, and she's the type of person that doesn't really believe in marriage, and she doesn't want to play house and do the whole thing where the husband and the wife and this, that, the other thing, then that's the type of woman that she is. And if you keep pushing that and say, well, she just doesn't get it, or she's like immature, or she'll kind of get to it eventually, then you're being a fool. I'm not trying to be shitty towards men. I'm just trying to say I've been in that situation a couple times because I did not define what I really wanted, and I didn't look to hold a standard to the women that I was with. I just felt like, I'm attracted to you. Let's go out. Ultimately, you catch feelings for the person. You end up loving the person, and they love you. But it's very tragic because at the end of the day, they don't want the same things in life. And so that's why I'm such a huge advocate for men of defining exactly what you want in life in terms of where do you want to live, city versus suburbs. Do you want to have kids? No kids? You want to, are you left? Are you right? Are you religious? Are you not religious? Are you, provide as much definition as you can of your must in a partner, and don't go after somebody that doesn't, check all the boxes on your list, because you are setting yourself up to just run into these issues where you say, well, I don't, and you don't want to be in that situation, because effectively, if you have a core pillar on your list that you want, and she has a core pillar that's exact opposite of what is on yours, then what the hell are you going to do? Either you're going to apply pressure to her to relent on her thing. And is that fair? I mean, what if she did that to you? What if it was like, particularly with one of the huge ones with kids, it's like you want kids and she doesn't want kids. And then she's going to tell you like, well, actually, if you love me, like you'd be okay with this, right? And you're like, no, I want to fucking have kids. Like, so you don't want to sacrifice and bend on your core life pillars, and you don't want to do that to somebody else because that's not fair to them either. So if you're in a situation where a woman is telling you, hey, I just don't think that, I feel like you're trying to fit me in this box that I don't fit into, or you're trying to get me to fit into a mold that I don't fit into, that is a major red flag that you need to take a step back on and assess. And you might need to say, you need to be mature in the relationship yourself, and you need to have self-confidence, self-respect, and self-worth. And also, if you really love her, you're going to respect what she wants in life too. And you might say, hey, look, we love each other. We really do love each other. I love you so much. I've never experienced this love for anybody else. We have this great intimacy. We feel really connected. We're best friends. We have all these inside jokes, and it's great. But at the end of the day, we just want different things in life. So rather than having the relationship kind of play out, and a lot of times these play out, I'll tell you, a lot of times at the 3-year mark, that's when things get real. That's when people start, the honeymoon phase is over, and people start getting very real and say like, you want this thing, but I want this thing, and just the friction starts and the resentment starts around the 3-year mark. So if you're at that phase, I would say be proactive about it. Talk openly and directly and to the point of what you want with your partner. If they don't really want, particularly with marriage, if you really have this idea in your head that you're going to get married and play house and have this suburban lifestyle or whatever, and you've been pitching this for a long time, and the person's never really, reciprocated that thought, but you've kind of thought you're so married to that idea that you just basically wipe away what their real thoughts are on it and inserting your own, rejecting their reality and inserting your own, as the Mythbusters guy would say, then that's not doing you a service, and that's not doing her a service, and likely it's going to blow up in your face. So I'm a big advocate for empowering men, and I just say empower yourself to see reality for what it is and call what's what. Talk to the woman and just be straight with her. This is what I want. Does this line up with what you want? And can the relationship continue how is the relationship going to continue? Because I really want this thing. And if you really don't want this thing, then maybe it's time that we call it quits. And let me tell you, if you really love somebody, it's much better to end the relationship respectfully as much as you can, rather than, because how it plays out, if the woman doesn't feel like she fits in the box, it's going to come out passive aggression, rudeness. You step on each other's toes. You're going to be getting into petty fights, and ultimately, at the end of the day, it's going to put a big black eye on the relationship, and you're going to end up broken up anyways. So it's better to honor that love that you have for this person and set it down and wish the person well and move on, rather than letting it play out and basically it's in a nasty breakup. So that's my advice. I wish you all the best. It really sucks when you love somebody and get in a situation where you start to realize, hey, this person's not going to be maturing in your own view of what maturity is. And basically, people get really pissed if you have your values for a reason. You believe in those values, and they're core to you. So if somebody else doesn't have those values, it's hard. You look at that person as being deficient in intelligence or maturity or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, people are different, and you can't change people, right? So the best that we can do is define what we want and go look for people that are aligned with that, and live our lives that way. If you're 3 years into a relationship with somebody and you realize, hey, that this is what they want, and it's not aligned with what I want, well, then you're kind of screwed, and it's not an enviable place to be. And love does not conquer all. You can love somebody and it doesn't work out, and that's a fact. So I want to have said that as well. So, anyways, I wish you well, and if you like this content, please like and subscribe. I'm a small channel; it would really help me. And please leave a comment down below. Thanks. I'll see you in the next one.